guys, this is obviously Miss Nelson. I am doing my best to teach from home while we are not at school. I miss our silly viola class terribly, and all the smiles and laughs and giggles. But so we're just going to try to keep on plugging and chugging. I've got the Sound Innovations book in front of me. Page 29 is the one I'm starting with. We did this mostly in class, so it's a great place to start for a review. And then we can keep building on from there. I'll also be putting up videos for the Suzuki songs, and I'll probably be doing there's a lot of Suzuki songs on YouTube, so I'll probably just be cross-referencing those that for you to practice with and whatnot. And I'll figure out a way to continue our testing Tuesday. As we get closer, there'll be some orchestra music that I hope to get out to you soon too. So let's keep learning on our instruments so we can keep building our technique and getting better and better every day. So a couple of things to keep in mind with this video. You can pause it and rewind it as much as you want. There's nobody in class judging you, so you are welcome to practice with me and press pause and go back, or press pause and figure something out and then go back and play it again or whatever. So as many times as you want. Without further ado, I'm on page 29 and there's some blue box. So go and press pause and read the blue box until you understand what it's being asked, and then press play. All right, so we've got half steps and whole steps. What I think of on violin and viola in particular is that our half steps are going to be touching fingers and our whole steps are going to be spaced fingers. So half steps are close and whole steps are big. Some of you have a little bit more narrow fingers than mine. I have stubby cello fingers. So my half steps do touch. My fingers fight for space on the string for that half step. But some of you might have a little bit of a space, and you can use your tuner just to make sure that they're really in tune. But you'll notice they're bigger, that your whole step is bigger than your half step for sure, because it's two halves equal a whole. We're going to talk about the D major scale. On the page that you clicked on for this link, it talks about a tetrachord as well. So that's one of my favorite words, is tetrachord, because it reminds me of Tetris, which is one of my favorite games to play, though my son keeps beating me now. So Tetris has 4 blocks in different configurations, tetra meaning 4, and tetrachord would mean 4 notes. So for a 1 octave scale, an 8-note scale, we build 2 tetrachords together. So 4 plus 4 equals 8. Smart math. So on this one, I want you to think about the building blocks for a major scale, and we're going to build the tetrachords and then connect the tetrachords with a whole step. So D to E is a whole step, E to F sharp is a whole step, F sharp to G is a half step. Then we connect to the A and it's a whole step. I'll show what you mean by our playing. So just remember, it's whole, whole, half, connected by a whole, 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 half. It's just the pattern. So just memorize the pattern and you'll be good to go. So on my viola, so we're gonna play D, whole step to E, whole step to F sharp, half step to G, whole step to A, whole step to B, whole step to C sharp, and half step to D. And then we go backwards. All right, so let's go ahead and play through 1-11, the D major scale, and think about your whole steps and half steps, or fingers that are close and fingers that are apart. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I get to watch this later, as you are going to watch it, and I'm going to see my bow going all over the place. So try to do better than me on bow. Remember, I'm a cellist. So try to do better about keeping your bow in the same contact point. Don't let it slide up and down because you're going to get weird sounds. And don't let it go like this, right? Keep your bow nice and straight. All right, so 112 is string crossing slurs, string slurs. On my notes for our page, it says that we're going to, when we get to cross the string, remember on strings or on slurs, we're going to divide the bow evenly so that we can have the same amount of bow. But on string crossing slurs, we need a little bit faster or a little more weight right at the start of the second note. So it sounds almost as if we changed bow direction, but we don't want it to sound like that, but we want the same strength of the note. So you'll see what I mean. If you just go like this, there's no sound coming out. So you have to think about, you're steering your bow. So you've got this three-dimensional space as you're crossing strings. You've got this big circular space that you have to figure out, okay? All right, so let's go ahead and do string crossing slurs thinking about our bow. 1, 2, 3, 4. Feel free to rewind that and practice it, or just pause and practice till you get that even sound on those two different notes. That's what we're aiming for on this one. All right, number 113, more string slurs. This one is the one where we're going to keep our tunnels. Keep your fingertips, make sure you have your tabletops, and so that you can still hear your A string while your fingers are down. So a real fun way to practice this one is to play both notes at the same time. Both notes at the same time. If you're trying to play it but you don't have your tunnels, this is what's going to sound like. That's really kind of gross, right? So you want to make sure that you are making your tunnels so that you have a nice clear way to the A string. So remember those tabletops and clear the A string. You should have a little tunnel right through here that you can see through. All right, so let's do our number 113. 1, 2, 3, 4. Keep first finger down. So that one would be a great one to practice several times over, making sure that you're keeping your fingers down as you go to the A string. So you have to think about that, but also think about your bow string crossing slur and make sure that you're using the right amount of bow for both notes and that your sound is coming out clear on the second note that you play. So 2 seconds to read about a concerto. Okay, so theme from violin concerto. Let's go through the names of the notes first, and then we'll probably pizzicato it next. All right, ready? Let's say the notes. F sharp, G, A, B, C sharp, D, A, G, F sharp, E, F sharp, D, E, A, repeat, F sharp, G, A, B, C sharp, D, A, second ending, B, G, E, A, D, rest. So, did you remember the first and second endings? Raise your hand if you remember first and second endings. So, remember the first time we play it, we play the first ending, and then we repeat, and the second time we play it, we don't do that first ending anymore because we already did it, so we're going to do the second ending. So we're going to play measure 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 5, 6. If you need any of those notes again, just press rewind and listen again for the notes so you can get them all written in your music so that you have them. All right, I'm going to pizzicato, so I'm going to set my bow down first because there's a lot going on with the right hand. So let's just make sure our left hand knows what it's doing. All right, so pizzicato along with me. 1, 2, ready, here we go. I totally played on the wrong string. I forgot I actually have a viola in my hand. All right, let's try again. 1, 2, ready, here we go. right, did you notice in the second ending there's a fourth finger A? I forgot to mention that when we were saying the notes, but there is a fourth finger A there. I'm gonna add the bow. There are a couple slurs, so pay attention to the slurs. And then there's also half notes, so remember our bow's gotta go really slow for half notes. And there's also a dotted half note at the end, which gets 3 beats. All right, so if you need a pizzicato again, you can either pause the video and practice it and figure things out. Maybe there's just one spot that was a little tricky that you need to look at on your own, or you can go back to the beginning and practice with me again on pizzicato. It's totally okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and arco, and I'm gonna remember that I have a viola and not start on the G string. I'm gonna start on the D string. Sorry about that. 1, 2, ready, here we go. Make sure you hold that dotted half note for 3 beats. And I'm gonna do it one more time, and I'm gonna add vibrato. I know we know vibrato with first finger, so you can definitely do your E and your A. I'm gonna do vibrato also on the 3rd finger D. So anything that's a half note that's not an open string, I'm gonna vibrato. So this one, I might do an arm vibrato, which is the same as my vibrato for E and A. And I just put 3rd finger down. And I think that's appropriate for this song, but you can also do just a wrist vibrato, so you don't have to use your whole arm, but it goes faster, I think, so. So that would be a little out of character for this piece, but it's something to work on. You have a lot of variety in your vibrato that you can use for something that's, if you want something more intense. That could be really super cool. And you can work on that. But it's not really in character for this piece, so I'm still gonna do the arm vibrato. It's just a little slower and sweeter, and I feel like this one is slow and sweet. All right, so let's try to add vibrato. 1, 2, 3, 4. Next up in the book is Sweet Betsy from Pike, and we're not doing that one. We're actually doing Iroquois Lullaby, and I don't have that on my stand for today, so I'm going to have to do a separate video for that one. But like I said earlier, you can rewind this and redo anything that you want and practice anything that you want. I already have a couple assignments. Some of you have already submitted your instrument selfies, which is awesome. And I also have the practice journal is going to be just a Google form of what you've practiced each day. So you might want to keep notes on your phone or a little sticky note or something of how many minutes you've been practicing each day, that you can add it to the Google form at the end of the week. It's due Sunday at midnight, so I would wait till Sunday to submit it, unless you know you're not going to practice on Sunday. Then you can submit it Saturday, or you know exactly what your schedule is. You can go ahead and get it done. It also is a place for you to talk about what your goal is for the week. So for us, it could be just completing page 29 in the Sound Innovations book. Maybe more specifically is to get your string crossing slurs super perfect. So that's totally up to you and what you think. There's also a place for you to leave me anything else. I'm going to end this video with letting you know that I have office hours on Canvas. Right now, let's just do Canvas emails. I'll be online. There's times posted on my Canvas homepage that I'll be online ready to answer emails and to be able to kind of have a discussion back and forth. My understanding is Canvas might be having a chat option soon, so we'll do that if that comes available. I'm also pursuing some other things, but until then, let's just stick with Canvas because we can do that. So if you have any questions about anything, feel free to send me an email, or just want to say hi. Send me an email through Canvas. I'm happy to reply, and I miss you guys. And if there's something that you're playing, you're like, I don't know what's going wrong, why am I sounding so weird, or what's not working, if you take a video, I might be able to help you diagnose what's going on if it's not coming out the way you think it should. Remember, I've taught you a lot already, so you could probably self-diagnose. If you're taking that video, you're seeing yourself in the camera just like I am now, and you're gonna see stuff, you're gonna go, oh, that's why it didn't go so well. So you can also self-diagnose, but either way, I'm happy to help. That's my job. And I do hope you guys stay safe and healthy, and can't wait to see you guys again.